Welcome to the Boujee Multipreneur podcast. I'm your host, Hillary Heschauer-Jones. Tune into my show where we discuss how to attract more money so you can spend more money. Hello, welcome back to the Boujee Multipreneur. I'm your host, Hillary. I'd like today to talk about networking in the community. And this is actually something I talk about a lot. So if you've heard me talk about this, well, just buckle in and listen for a little bit longer. But this is something I work on a lot with my doctors that are in my chiropractic clinic because I own 2 chiropractic clinics, and I also am a business coach. So I also coach other doctors and service professionals about how they can increase their business. And networking in the community is one that's like super easy for me. Also, I'm an introvert, so that helps. Also, I'm type A. But networking in your community, if you own a business or you are in sales and you're trying to grow your business, this is key. And if you're an extrovert, it's probably easier. If you're an introvert, you probably dislike it. So maybe some of these tips will help you. I do realize that I might be a little bit of an anomaly who loves going and meeting random people and talking, and I really love helping people, I guess. And so when I meet people, I'm thinking to myself, how can I help them? How can I improve their lives? Because I know it will come back. I know the universe will provide for me. And when I need something, I will get it back in return. Maybe not from them, but in the long history of doing this, everything always seems to work out. Whether if you believe it's God that does it for you or the universe or whoever, this always works out well for me. So going in with a positive mindset is key. So I would like to go over some things about why I think it's important, some things that you can do or that has worked well for me. And let me know what you think. I would love to hear back from you later and see if any of this worked or you loved any of these tips or you are proficient at all of this and you know it all. Maybe you can be on the podcast with me sometime. But let's talk about the difference between like an in-person community versus just like online. I think this day and age, post-COVID, people, at least in my area, I'm in Indiana, they want to get out. They want to get back to like personal meetings, having coffees, the shaking of the hand, the talking in person to people. I feel like during COVID, we got so used to everything on Zoom, and I felt like we were missing a connection. And again, that could be because I'm an extrovert and I love being around people, that the screen wasn't enough for me. And I have noticed over the last few years that everyone is liking the in-person networking again. This is a little bit more challenging for people that are not extroverts, but it can be done, right? There are some things that you can do, some tips and tricks that we'll talk about. But having these connections can help grow your business. It doesn't mean like you go to a networking event and immediately your business flourishes and you're 50% better than last month. No, it is like a long process. And it's not, I don't say long like negative, but it is a process. It's not a quick fix. And I mean, I guess it's like me going to the gym and expecting to lose 10 pounds that one time I went to the gym and it didn't happen, right? But I feel like nothing's really quick these days. So it's going to take some time. It's going to take some effort too. It's not like you just showing up, everyone's going to flock to you and want to know you and get your business card and want to schedule something with you or buy whatever it is. Like it does take some effort, right? So know that going into it. When people like you too, they will start recommending you. And the more they see you over and over at these different events, they're going to be like, yeah, I did just meet a chiropractor. I've met her a few times. Let me find her information for you. Maybe that one person didn't want or need to be a chiropractic patient at my clinic, but she might meet someone down the road that is talking about needing chiropractic care. And she's like, I meet this woman all the time at my events. She's amazing. Let me give you her information. So also, if you're not happy and in a good mood, maybe don't do the networking because you want to put your best face forward, right? Like you want to be happy and bubbly and polite and nice and all those things, like your best foot, literally. But over time, going to different networking and being in the community to different events, it builds more trust and credibility with all these face-to-face interactions than it does, let's say, just putting an ad in the paper, an ad online, or just Google ads. Like, you need to build that face-to-face credibility and trust too. So places I go to network, Chamber of Commerce, that's super easy, right? I've always been a member of my chamber. I think I'm coming up on 18 years now. It doesn't mean I go all the time, but when I'm ready to do networking, because, sometimes we take some time off, then I looked at the chamber, because everyone that's going to those events feels this way too. They know why they're going. They're going to network and to meet, and they're not going to sell you something right then and there, because that's not what these events are for. It's for getting to know them, meeting, the trust, the face-to-face interaction. Other like meetup places would be like a BNI, like a business industry specific type of group, where they might have just one of each profession in the group. Those are great. I used to go to those. In fact, I helped run one for many years, and it was great. That's something I did more when I was newer in business. And now that I've been in business for a while, I don't do it as much, but I think that they're great. So don't get me wrong. I love going to community events now. So fundraisers, I love going to galas. I love just raising money for things. I used to do a lot with St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Now that I have less time to devote, I do enjoy giving back monetarily. I enjoy going to these events because they are so much work to run. And we need to go and support these groups and support the people that gave their time and effort to make that happen. It's just a lot of work. And I'm always amazed by them. And showing up, supporting, donating the money, that's where it is. And I don't even bring my business cards or stuff to that, but you just need to keep going and showing up to places like this. You buy a table, you get your business name on it, you purchase a golf hole at the golf outing, and people see it's just the over and over again. You could even have a vendor table at a farmer's market, or a health fair or a craft fair, any type of vendor specific fair, women's health fair. I mean, there's so many things that are going on, and if they're not, create it. What's stopping you? It takes some time, and the first time might not be the best, but the more that you do it, people will come out and support, and people will pour into you too. You could create events and invite the community. So for instance, at my chiropractic office, we do a lot of what's called a ghouls night out. It's like a twist on girls night out, but obviously we do it in October. We have a spooky theme. We do wine tasting events. We do health workshops. We do our spring tea party, where we have a lot of tea and just little finger foods. And we invite local boutiques and jewelry and all different things like that. So I'm working with other business owners that maybe I've met at some of these networking events. And then I create an event for all of us to do. And I promote it, and I invite all my patients and people I know in the community. And, again, we're just getting out there. So if you don't have that, you might have to create it. And that's okay too, because being known for someone that creates that over and over again is great. The other year, I think it was a year or two ago, someone contacted me and she's like, "Hey, I heard you were the person to go to. I'm new in town and I just opened a business, and I was told that you do it all and you know a lot of people in the community." And I was like, "Oh, that's so sweet. I do. Thank you." But it was just cute that someone had told her to contact me and gave my information, and she, it's ended up being a great relationship, friendship, and, business supporter. So go the extra mile, get out there and do stuff. But when you're going to these events, go because you want to create a relationship, not that you want to sell something. And I think that is key. When I talk to other clients of mine that own chiropractic offices, they're like, "Well, going to those things just doesn't bring me new patients." I'm like, yeah, it's just walking into an event and handing out your business cards does not bring you a new patient. I totally agree, because you have to think of it like a sales ladder. Each rung, you're getting a step closer to the top of the final destination, which would be them purchasing something from you, or if you're a chiropractor, becoming a new patient, things like that. So change your mindset a little bit, maybe if you've thought in the past that this just doesn't work for you. And it might not. And you might not be an extrovert, or you might not be great in the community. And that's okay, because not every great doctor or great business owner is great in front of people, And so if you're not the best face in front talking, then send someone else, hire someone else to do your community events and networking for you that's bubbly and an extrovert and knowledgeable and smiles. If you can't do that, that's okay, because we can't do everything all the time. But, you know, chat with people about things, and, talk a little bit about your business. Make sure you ask about their business. The other day, one of my clients, she goes, "Hey, when you're at events, how do you get away from people?" And I laughed because she was telling me this woman kept talking and talking. And she was like, "I just didn't want to hear about her birth experiences anymore. Like, I wanted to talk to other people." And it's, like someone like clings on. They want to tell you every single thing about them or every history. And you're like, "I just wanted to say hi and move on." So I'll say like, "Judy, these memories are so amazing. I would love to listen to more. However, I want us to both work the room. Is there someone in the room that you want to meet up with that would be good for you and your business? And if I come across them, I'm going to refer them. I'm going to point you out so they can come over and chat with you. But I want to keep us moving since we only have another hour left here." So I cut that stuff off. I just am blunt about it. I'm not negative or mean about it. But I'm like, "Judy, I wanted us both to get and work around the room. So how can you help her and get away from the situation?" Right. And if it's like someone you're like, "I'm never going to need this. They own a roofing company. I don't need a roof, etc." You're like, "Who would be an ideal person for you to talk to at this event? And when I come across them, I will make sure I point you out. I'll still take their card. Can I have an extra card? And when I meet someone in this room that I think you'd be a good fit for you, I'm going to give them your card too, in case you don't get to chat with them." So don't get stuck in those conversations, you guys. Like, you got to keep moving, and it's okay. We're all there for a reason. And it's okay to tell people what you want. You don't have to just sit and talk to someone about a certain sports team or the weather. Like, you're there to talk about business stuff, or where else do they go for networking events? If it's not going anywhere, what other events do you go to? Where else have you been? Like, learn a little bit about them. Like, what's been good for you? And then if you could stand out a little bit and be memorable, people will remember you. So here's some funny examples of things that have stood out to me when I've met people. And I'm not saying you should do this, but like, some people will wear like a bright blazer to every event all the time. It's like this bright pink one, and it's cute. She looks cute, but she wears it every time. But does that help her stand out? It sure does. She has, I think, an embroidery on it. And so I love that, because also I forget people's names. So I love it when it's on there. How can you stand out and be memorable? Is it your business card that stands out a little bit? Is it something that you say? Is it, do you have a little joke or something? I don't know. Like, what could you do to stand out a little bit and be memorable to people? So they're like, "Oh yeah, that one chiropractor, she's the one with that long curly hair all the time." I literally have been told that before. Someone's like, "I see you on posts all the time, and you're the one with that long, beautiful hair." And I was like, "Oh, thank you. It's finally someone notices all this time I put into this hair." I'm just kidding. Also, really important that I go through with my clients is you need to follow up after the event. I try to do it within a week. Most of the times I do it the next day, because it's going to either be an email or a card or something where I'm going to send in the mail, because I want to thank them for meeting and chatting. I'll also, like, as soon as I get in the car after the event, I'll take out the business cards if I haven't already, and I'll make a note like, she likes to travel to Florida. She's a runner, like different things like that. So that way I can be like, "Hey, good luck on your mini marathon coming up. I think you're going to do great. Let me know if there's anything I can do. Would love to chat." again, do a one-on-one with coffee if you're available, something like that, and if you don't know what to write in the email or the letter, chat GPT it, you guys. So easy. Just put it in there and see what it spits out for you. I like to keep track of all these on a spreadsheet just so I know when I did them, and then I'll follow up. And if I hadn't heard, I'll follow up again, especially if it's someone I really want to get in touch with. But then help people find others, like do some cross promotions. How can you guys work together to cross promote each business? Is there something you can do on social media together? Could you host an event together? Are they looking for someone? Are they in need of another professional to help their business? And then you could be a resource for them. You look at your spreadsheet and know that, oh, that realtor said that she needs handyman because they're always fixing up this or that. I'm like, oh, here's a handyman that I know. Great meeting you. Look forward to chatting soon. So again, trying to help them out. It'll all come back to you later. I would never say hey, let me know when you want to be a new patient of mine. That's not helping people. But the more that they get used to, they'll feel comfortable. And then if they do decide to, purchase from you, be a patient for you, they're going to be the best ones because you've built up this relationship over time. You're not just jumping right in bed with them, So if you are introverted or you feel awkward at events, go with someone, a couple times so that way you can get used to it. And if you see another introverted person, because they're always by themselves or slightly on the outside, just start with someone like that because they're also introverted probably. And you can just say this is intense, huh? Hi, I'm so-and-so, right? Let's also talk about if you are trying to meet with someone and they reject you, right? Or they just I'm sorry, I'm looking for someone else to talk to, or, I don't know. Don't let that affect you. Let them do what they need to do, you can't change anyone else, but you can change how you deal with the situation yourself. And, it's Mel Robbins is just let them, don't worry about it. Worry about yourself. Find someone else to talk to you. It's okay if someone doesn't want to talk to you or doesn't want to do any cross promotions with you, because someone out there does. And you would be better off finding the person that wants to and will put effort into it than someone that doesn't. Another thing that I hear about my clients say I'm just so busy. How do you fit time in for this? Well, I make time. I carve out time. I know I will go to at least one event per week. So I might have a specific half day because I know that afternoon is always some type of networking event somewhere. So I will make sure I always keep that open, and I'll pre-schedule them too as far as I can. Because a lot of the Chamber of Commerce events, you can pre-book those out, and that way and it's already on your schedule. So look at it too as not optional. You're looking at your schedule for the week and you're well, I could just skip that networking event. No, that's part of building a business. That's part of work. You're going to keep that. Unless of course it's a family emergency and your kids are sick, but don't skip that just because you're quote tired or you've had a long week. So a little recap, get out there, go to the events or make the events. Try to follow up with people, take notes on them, always be a resource for other people and how you can help them, because what goes around comes around and it will come back to you. Maybe not that exact night, but don't go into those networkings thinking that you're going to get new sales or business that exact night. It takes time. So just like every good thing in life, it takes time. So if I could challenge you, I would challenge you to find a local networking event this month that you've never been to before and kind of branch out, because being uncomfortable can be a good thing for you. I mean, how many of us have been in an uncomfortable situation and then it worked out amazing? And you're like, oh, I wish I would have done that sooner. I know we all have felt that way. So watch on social media for any events, help share other people's events, and then let me know what you think about this. And if you've done this or what's worked for you, you can always leave me a comment or message me on Instagram, Hillary Hushhour Jones on Facebook, and would love to keep in touch. So get out there, get networking, be a Boujee Multipreneur, multimillionaire, do what you want and make that money. Click subscribe so you don't miss the next episode, and let's make some money.